Hi Scorpio, welcome to your quantum reading. This is for Scorpio Sun, Moon, or Rising. Welcome to my crosswatcher. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. The message could be for you. Take it however resonates with you and your situation. Keep in mind these are general and timeless readings. If you guys are wanting to check out any of my services, website is linked down below. You can also check out my Instagram, which is also linked down below. You guys can follow me over there if you want to. And thank you guys so much, for liking, subscribing. Thank you for all the ways you have supported the channel. Love you guys so much. And let us dive in. Okay. Initiation. There's something significant about threes for you because 3 cards came out for both, and I'm going to take that. Okay, we've got an initiation taking place. This is like, every time I get the bat, I'm like, I think of a bat out of hell. Okay. Oh, come here. Sorry. Okay. Your first cards that came out, we have Transcendence with the Crown Chakra, Moonstone. I love Moonstone. That's actually one of my favorite stones. We have Deep Knowing with the Sacral Chakra and Sunstone. How fascinating that you have the sun and the moon right there with the stones. We have Azurite with Discipline. Oh, Saturn. Okay. Oh, aren't you so lucky? So you have Saturn's going to be specifically focusing on your chakras, interestingly enough, because you have something here about linking up the two. It's almost something here, Scorps. I know this is gonna maybe sound kind of strange, but Saturn's gonna come in and highlight a particular area of your life that you've been struggling to get disciplined. Okay, so especially whichever house that's hitting for you guys, I would definitely recommend looking that up because it's crazy freaking enlightening. Oh my gosh, mine was so freaking accurate. I was like, wow. And I have also found that I will feel transitions a little bit earlier. So like Saturn is making these transition and changes, but it actually hit me like kind of like a few weeks ago, which I thought was really interesting. So Saturn could be trying to help you link the dots in your chakras, okay? It's kind of like there could have been some particular blockages, especially with the crown chakra, about receiving insights and information. And then if this is about sacral chakra, maybe something tied to your gut, something needs to be fixed, like be able to trust your deep knowing and your ability to like receive information. There's been some kind of blockage there, and it's something about you having a routine or discipline set in place. I know everyone wants to hear about it, but I actually freaking love Saturn. I don't know what it is. I can get quite military about patterns. Sorry to make this about me, but especially for those of you, if you have a life path 8 anywhere, any kind of numerology 8 in your chart, you'll freaking thrive on Saturn energy. It's delicious when you get in that flow. It creates so much freedom for your life. So things might feel restrictive right now because something is trying to tighten up, so that you can learn how to work with the restrictions, which will expand your outward reality in a really cool way, believe me. You have the squirrel, which is, I think, the part of yourself that's been kind of like all over the place. It could have been a bit fear-based. Saturn's going to come in and like get a hold of that archetypal development, because there could have been something where Saturn is actually going to help you out with resources and being able to play, but it could have just been all over the place. So it's going to structure that element of your life. See, and you've even got the Viper and healing. See, there's this energy that's coming in as a complete energetic reflection to a part of yourself that's been kind of like struggling to pay attention, okay? And that can be kind of like, you know, when you energetically just feel something and it's like this energy is coming in because it's vibrationally attracted to that. So there could be something about having to acknowledge this element of your life. And then you've got the bat with initiation and transition. Okay, so I think that's what your chakras are trying to get you aligned to, is possibly some kind of transition or taking flight here. All right, transcendence. We are not messing around in your reading, are we, Scorps? Okay, yeah, super important. I feel like this is like all about gratitude and abundance. 3333. Isn't it interesting? I was bringing up numerology specifically in yours. I haven't brought that up in anyone's reading, so there's like some kind of an emphasis about numerology for you, Scorps. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me with the Viper coming out with the fear and the healing. Okay. 3333. This is, honestly, I'm going to be totally honest because I'm super blood like this. I love these cards, but I think it's super random that the only card that she did with numerology was 3333. And I was like, okay. But, you know, that could have been something significant to her. So, in general, 369 is this whole, like, you know, Nikola Tesla, the frequency of it. It's like a perfect balance, even in numerology, because each, like, 9 turns every number back into itself when you add it up. Or, you know, like, how do I say that? Like, for example, if you do 9 plus 3, 10, 11, 12, and then if you put 1 and 2 together, it equals a 3. So it always transforms a number back into itself, numerological wise. We have, see, there's this dark nebula, which is kind of like an energy that is, it's encroaching on this light energy, okay? You're trying to stay out of it, and that's why I feel like this supernova, it could be something energetically that's building up, because you know how empaths can go supernova in a situation? That could be something energetically building up at this time. And then we've got parallel universes, which I find super interesting. Okay. So yeah, supernova, we're obviously not messing around, and maybe this is because you're coming into a different version of yourself. You might want to work a lot with gratitude. 3s also, to me, are like, they're like entrepreneurs. They're very creative energies. They're different than an 8. 8s build empires, but 3s specifically are all about like independence, freedom, and entrepreneurship. So that could be something here that's interconnected with what you're doing at this time. There could be a dark energy that's actually coming into that process. And maybe it's because maybe there's something repressed a little bit here, Scorpio. So we've got, yeah, that's why. I just heard, is it something I said? So you have this Knight of Swords energy. This could be about communications. You might be communicating truths, or you like, I don't know. There could be something here that was said, and it could have been about pulling some light into some darkness. Because you see how this is even a similar energy as far as like it's a light source. So your communications could be coming across as very enlightening. They're very truthful and real. It's not at all like confusing with you the way that you're coming across. There's nothing really unclear here, and it could just be because there's the supernova is building up. There's a parallel universe that I find very fascinating here, which could be tied to a different energy. Let me get into that in a little bit. We have the 7 of Wands. Can you see that? Not totally. Okay. We have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, some energies might be coming back up from your past. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the 4 of Wands. That's freaking adorable. Okay, so there might be actually someone reaching out. It could be actually very positive. Can you believe that, Scorps? Okay, I know that sounds terrible. Okay, Scorps. So I want to get a little bit more into the details of the Dark Nebula, especially because it's hiding the treasures of light. It can be a lack of clarity and understanding, or a dim and blurred visibility. And it could be that there's like feeling cut off from the light. Do you know what's really fascinating about dark nebula is it's not ionized, and it doesn't reflect any light of anybody. It's just like kind of a cloud of this dust, and it doesn't shine or emit any light. It just is kind of like a dark patch that hides the stars. And that could be something about the clouded vision. So it really is trying to get you to focus on discipline so that you can see things very clearly, because that's very important in this particular situation. And I love the parallel universe because it can talk about choice, but it kind of talks about that you're in one placement of your life, but there could be this completely different alternate reality, or like you switching into a quantum field that's going to feel like a parallel universe, almost like there's a completely different environment and universe, vibrationally different from what you've been like living out, and it's in existence and you've been trying to like tap into it. And it's something about the transition is to a parallel universe, literally. And so for a bit, that could be what you're kind of like fighting for at this time with the Seven of Wands, is you could be trying to step into a different version of yourself, or you might want to go into this completely different energy, but some energies might not oh, you know what's fascinating? I have brought this up before. Alan Watts had like one recording that always stood out to me, how he said that when you go to reach for your dreams, your debt collectors come calling. Like he said, especially something about like when you announce that you're leaving, you know, then all of your debt collectors come in like wanting to collect the karmic debt. And you've got Seven of Wands, that's what's pointing out to me in some particular way. People are going to be popping in from your past. You're going to be strongly thinking about like past experiences and memories that are coming up as you kind of move forward slowly in this particular situation. This Four of Wands could be like a celebration that's going to come in over this next week. Look, there's even the Page of Swords. It looks like in communications, could be like having a conversation with someone else. You have the Eight of Swords, and you have the Emperor and the Chariot here on the end, which can be Cancer and Mars. Oh wow, isn't that freaking crazy? Wow. All right, Scorps, so switch things up a little bit. Excuse me. Okay. Fascinatingly, Mars is coming out of Gemini and moving into Cancer. That's so fascinating. Look, Mars in Cancer, and it's all about fourth house stuff, which is kind of, so there could be something going on with family, or nothing birthday wise for you. So maybe there's a celebration or a birthday coming up. I'm not totally sure. But this Four of Wands, it's all going to be a focus on fourth house stuff for you because of that Mars in Cancer. For some reason, it's affecting you. And you might have, I don't know if you're specifically dealing with a Cancer or dealing with a strong masculine energy, or this person is very Aries acting Mars-ish. So this person is strategically moving at this time. I don't know if they're male or female, completely different, but there's a lot of like checking things out. This person energetically, there's some lack of clarity in this situation, okay? Something was communicated here, could have come across very blunt. It also has a lot of like, there's some fogginess there. So I don't know who was kind of foggy. Look at the communications right here, but they're actually not mature at all. Something is something hasn't been said, or there's a person here that's just mainly watching but feels blocked in communications with this Eight of Swords, or kind of like might be over analyzing things, and I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like you could be observing a particular person in your reality, Scorpio, and maybe you could have said something because you're dealing with a completely different situation, and there's another energy over here on the side that is like listening and paying attention to you. Whatever this Page of Swords is, like there's a person here that has got their attention on you, and they're either trying to figure you out or gain information about you. This is either a new person or someone that you have known from the past, but they're paying attention to your communication specifically at this time, or like they might read into them because of this Eight of Swords. It's like it's way out into Never Never Land. And that might sound kind of harsh, but it's because like you've got this Mars energy that's making you come across as a little bit more Knight of Swords-ish. So you're not coming across as very watery or water element. You're going through some kind of internal transformation with the Supernova card, because there's another element that could feel very pressurized, or the strategy could be feeling like I don't know. It's like hard to tell exactly what these movements are like. And it doesn't have to just be negative. It's just kind of like if you've got an Emperor energy, whether it's positive or negative about their movements, it could be like you're either super overthinking, or there could be something about, maybe there's a person here that's feeling kind of even traumatized a little bit because, you know, the movements of this Emperor are like, this supernova is literally like an explosion. The definition of it is a star exploding. And that can happen when you have this Mars energy coming in and putting pressure on a particular point. Okay, because whatever this strategy is, that's why sometimes like it's tricky to deal with these masculine energies, especially the way that Mars will maneuver, is it can be just like, it can be kind of traumatizing, you know? Like masculine energies, especially if they're in the dark, like it does cause transformation. And Mars isn't meant to be the Empress. It's its own archetype. And Mars can sometimes be the bully that has an interest in you. And the mean one, you know what I mean? Or like, it's just very masculine the way that they communicate with the combination. I mean, when you think about the Empress and the Emperor, they're completely different archetypes. But like, in the archetype deck, I know I'm not making sense. I'm trying to get around to how I'm trying to say this, but the way that they're portrayed in the archetypes deck is the woman, Animus, she's like wearing armor. So she's supposed to be in her light, completely balanced and reparented between her masculine and her feminine side. And the masculine has this man standing there with a moon in his hand, which represents the feminine that exists within inside of himself, which is the intuitive part. And coming into balance with that, which is tricky in this day and age, because those things have been so shamed and repressed. Things have come out of balance between relationship entanglements and all this craziness. Man, have they chemically thrown things off in us so freaking much. But yeah, I mean, so look, there's this really powerful energy that's stepping into this situation, and I do feel like it feels very fiery and dominating, and it feels almost like a chessboard, Scorps, depending on what exactly the way your communications are coming across. That's why I would think about things, but it is like a chessboard the way the Emperor is moving. And it could be that they, you know how there's the king And then he's got the Tower, the Knight, the Bishop, the Queen. He's moving his pieces around. And that could be, I don't know, this could be a business-oriented person, or there's just kind of like something about the movements that are very strategically placed. Think about that. Okay? Because there's almost even an element of like gratitude to have in this particular situation, or someone feels like you should have gratitude or something, maybe for like whatever was provided. It could have been security or whatever was playing out here. But I do think that you're trying to, this could be something about home environment that's going to be an emphasis over this next week. Okay? You might be I don't know, like trying to get more information maybe about a living situation. There's this person here that won't give up. Like, do you know what I mean? This could be an energy here, like this Knight of Pentacles. Someone here could be trying to make an advancement toward you. And this energy could have been watching you for like a pretty significant amount of time. I don't know if you've known it or not, but there's an energy that's like initiating some kind of transition to happen between you, and it is something about the communications are sparking a lot of this. So let me dive into the extended Scorpio. If you want to join me over there, feel free. Go down below, click on the Vimeo link. I'll see you over there. But Scorpio, if this is where we leave things, I'm sending you so much love. Wishing you all the very best. See you in the next reading. Take care.